Truman flowers. Here's the video walkthrough. Okay, as it with any case of with any problem of this type, we're going to start off with the facts of the case. And so I went through in order pretty much and pulled out the facts of the case, the $5 per rose that she was seeing that seemed to be the going price in these neighborhoods, the minimum number of girls she would need to cover all the neighborhoods she wanted to cover, the maximum number of girls she could use to cover those same spots. Um, the amount that per month per person it would cost to rent the uniforms, the amount per hour it would cost to rent the driver. Now, keep in mind that this is a delivery driver. This isn't a driver to drive the girls. But if you built your model with that in mind, as long as I understand your assumptions, you won't be penalized. The $20 per hour per flower girl. Then the fact that it's $5. 5 hours per night that the girls will be working, 2 days a week, Friday and Saturday night, and that the fact that in a given night, she estimates that a girl will be able to sell 40 roses. And of course that there's 4 weeks per month. She furthermore believes that an extra 20% can be sold by somebody who's an independent because they'll be motivated, and that the price that we will sell the flowers to the independents would be $2.50, and that their markup is 100%, and that a bundle of flowers can be purchased for $27 with 25 flowers in the bundle. And it mentions a cell phone, but not how much they cost. This is a cell phone for Raul to be called by the girls. I assume that it costs $50 for like your standard Net 10 or Virgin Mobile phone prepay. If you pick the lower price, that's fine. If you instead assume that the phones were for the girls, as long as you handled it properly, I would accept that as well. Now, there's some other work that I did over here on the side that isn't part of the model just because we're going to have to figure it out anyway, and it was kind of simpler to make it kind of an established fact. The cost of a single rose, which is the cost of the bundle of flowers divided by the number of flowers in a bundle, is $1.08 each. The sales per girl as an employee is $320, which I got from multiplying the 40 roses per night times the days per week times the months per year, the weeks per month rather. So 8 times 40 is $320. And then the sales per girl as a contractor is $384 because I increased this by 20%. And so I have those here on the side. Now, this model is clearly an income statement problem because it's asking about how much money can be made in the month. So I created an income statement with revenue, cost of goods sold, gross margin. My fixed expenses are my cell phone, which is a reference directly over here to my cell phone assumption. The uniform rental, which we'll get into, Raul's additional pay, the flower girl pay, which gives us our total expenses, and the difference between the gross margin and the total expenses is our gross profit. Now, it said in the last paragraph of the problem that the model should allow her to pick how many sales girls she would use and which way she would use them, as employees or independent contractors. So I coded those decisions as number of girls and status, 1 if employee, 0 if independent contractor. Pretty straightforward. The price I charged, rather than having my revenue equation be really complex, I decided to break it out. Revenue, as we know, is generally price times quantity. So since the price is different, we're getting $2.50 from our contractors, but we're getting $5, we're getting the full price from our employees. I decided to make a decision right here on price. So that if the status is employee, then we're getting the $5. If not, we're getting the $2.50. And the quantity is also a decision because if it's the quantity is an employee, if the status is an employee, then the quantity is the sales per girl employee. Otherwise, it's the sales per girl contractor. Either way, I'm multiplying it times the number of girls to give me the total quantity of roses sold in a month by the organization. Now, That's pretty much all the hard work been done. That's all was done up front in little pieces. It's perfectly acceptable to do it all as one big equation, but doing as little pieces kind of made everything clear. So that revenue is just price times quantity. Cost of goods sold is quantity times cost of a single rose. Gross margin is the difference in those two. Okay? My fixed expenses are my cell phone, my uniform rental, which is the price of a single uniform per month times the number of girls in the organization. Raul's additional pay is Raul's pay per hour times the hours per night times the days per week times the weeks per month. The flower girl pay is a decision. If it's an employee, then it's the girl pay per hour times the hours per night times the days per week times the weeks per month times the number of girls. If not, it's zero because independent contractors don't get paid. Independent contractors make the money themselves on the markup, which gives me total expenses, which is the sum of those, and gross profit, as I said, is the difference between gross margin and total expenses. The differences that you have from this, as long as they're well documented and they're not crazy, still make a good model. But make certain that you highlighted all of the facts of the case, your assumptions, and your decisions. These don't have a color because they're neither. They're not assumptions, facts, or decisions. These are actually part of the model because they're all equations.